He became a ghostwriter at some point. How about Shel Silverstein? Listen, I read The Giving Tree to my daughter. I feel like The Giving Tree is like written by the most miserable parent of all time. I'm about to ruin some childhoods. The whole book is basically just like written from the perspective of a mother who doesn't get enough phone calls from her kid. And then I said, well, why don't you strip all the bark that remains off of my trunk then? You could use it to build yourself a treehouse so you can have a little fun. Why don't you just rip the skin from my flesh, see if I care? And then the kid's like, okay. Then the tree was but a mere nub, and yet the tree still said, oh, go ahead, just sit on my head, see if I care. Just go ahead and sit on the top of my head. Yeah, it'll crush my cervical vertebrae. And the kid's like, okay. It's just crazy, man. Like, it's at no point. It's so miserable. It's like Joker. It's 9:20. This is the content. Prince Petite Maman. I have no idea, bro. Even from this, it's The Giving Tree. The Secret Garden. This movie was everywhere when I was a kid. Everyone was going crazy for The Secret Garden when I was a kid. This resurfaced something in my brain. Did I tell you guys, have you ever read The Giving Tree? So The Giving Tree is a story. It's basically written, I apologize to all the other parents, it's written by the saltiest parent of all time. The tree is a metaphor for what you give when you're a parent. Every page is like, and the selfish boy came up to the tree and said, I'm hungry, can I have some of your fruit? And the tree said, well, sure, I'm not using it. Why don't you pick every piece of fruit off of me while you're at it? And then like it came at like, the tree was fucking dying. It was all branches. And the boy was like, well, you don't give me shade anymore. And the tree was like, I'll give you as much shade as I can, you know? So the whole point of the story is that the parent, they're giving everything and they would do even more than they were asked of, okay? But it is, I always find it a little bit like, you had the kid, Giving Tree, just so you know. Nobody forced you to have the kid. But my kid at daycare read The Giving Tree, and I was like, what's The Giving Tree about? And she was like, it's about a kid who loves a tree very much. And I was like, first off, you really missed the fucking point. But in a way, you kind of are like warming my heart here, because that is maybe like a flip side interpretation of The Giving Tree. From the parent perspective, I mean, it's easy to read it and be like, it's true. No one does emotional labor like us. I think it's easy to be seduced into that like, woe is me narrative. But in the kid's eye, they're like, I fucking love that tree. And I was like, you know what? You made me think about it a little bit. She got the gears a turning.